So growing up as kind of like a parentless hooligan in Vegas, what kind of trouble did you get yourself into?
Everything. I was banned from like half of the strip by the time I was 18.
For just being like drunk? and
Being
stuff?
underage, being drunk. I sold drugs like for money for like a big, not a big portion, just like a portion of life. I was just reckless in every way.
What kind of drugs were you selling?
All of them.
Anything.
Yeah.
So you would go to like your dealer and just whatever they had you would buy? Like
Or like I just like had a lot of friends who were caught up in the same world, so it became so normal. You know what I mean? Like that was like a way. And at that, you know what I mean? Like I wasn't getting financial help in any way. I dropped out. Like you feel like this is the only way I'm gonna make ends meet right now, I guess. And I was never like a mass drug dealer. I was never like, you know what I mean? Like it was just like a here and there thing for.
Where would you sell to, like people who came by? Were you like on
people I knew?
Yeah, people you
Just
knew.
friends that I knew. Yeah. But that also, I guess, would extend, friend of a friend. But, yeah, you had to make ends meet.
So you're banned from the strip, you're selling drugs.
Oh my God, yeah. Being awful. Like just being like 16, hooking up with like fucking awful. Just
nasty.
Or just way older. Like just, you know what I mean? Just awful decisions in every regard. And moving to LA was so amazing. Like, I say this all the time, you know what I mean? This lifestyle like saved my life. This job, this career path, this journey absolutely saved me in my life from like fucking everything. So I thank God I was able to get out of it before it was not, because I could write it off. It's like I was just young and dumb and it was an era. And like, thank God. But people get caught up in that and that becomes people's actual life. So
yeah, definitely.
I'm very lucky.
Were you always like a funny, kind of like charismatic person where you're like, I maybe can turn this into a career? Like, what made you think that?
Honestly, yeah. I think it takes a small bout of narcissism in any regard to put on a camera and think I'm going to film myself and put this on the internet and people might enjoy it, I guess, right? But I've always just been crazy, loud, wild, saying whatever is on my mind. And I accredit that almost to no one ever telling me like that's wrong, I guess, right? So yeah, and I just love, I don't know, I loved YouTube. I loved like Shane Dawson and I love like Jenna Marbles. And
So going back to you growing up in Vegas, when did you drop out of school?
When I was 15.
High school?
Middle of sophomore year.
Was something happen or what? Like, how do you actually leave high school? I thought there was like, that was illegal or something.
Well, it is, but I just feel like Vegas doesn't give a shit.
They don't give a fuck.
If you look at if you rank the school systems are ranked from like best to worst, all 50. Vegas is 50th, or it was for a long time. I don't know if it still is.
I remember seeing that.
49th, or Nevada is. Yeah. But I mean, they don't give a shit. But I mean, I think it was leading up to it. Like I just, for years of my life, I've always had really bad insomnia. There was a lot of fighting in my household. I would never sleep at night. Like I was like scared to fall asleep. I had really bad insomnia. So I'd be sleeping through class all day, like every day and shit. Like, cause I wasn't getting any sleep. I remember so many times where teachers were like, would send me for like a wellness check at my school. Cause it's like, why is she like in REM sleep? Like it's one thing if they touch you and you get up, like I wouldn't get up, like type of thing.
Wow.
I hated the rules. I hated authority. I didn't want to learn. I hated life. So I was like, why the fuck? What am I doing this for? A future? I'm going to fucking kill myself. What? Like, there's no purpose. And yeah, I mean, and then it would just, I remember one of the last times my parents took me to school. Oh my God, here I go again.
Yeah.
I remember I was in the car and shit got so bad that I remember in my opinion, I was so angry that I got out and I was walking to school and it was freezing outside and we're far as shit from my school and it was like 30 fucking degrees out and I'm walking to school in like flip flops and like a t-shirt and I'm freezing and then they're screaming from the car to not the car, whenever people call the police, like police show up, whole thing. And I'm just like walking to school. And I remember being like, I don't want to go back. Like, it just like, this is too much. I don't want to go back. And so I just stopped going. I never like filed a paper.
Crazy.
I never anything.
You just one day stopped going?
Yeah.
Nobody reached out to you? Nobody asked any questions?
No.
What?
I literally just one day stopped. I mean, and I had hundreds of absences as is. I think that It's sad,
They didn't see
really.
if you died. Nobody was like, is she alive?
No, I mean, I was funny about it though. I was funny about it. I'd be like picking my friends up from school.
Okay,
I went to all the like senior assemblies and shit. I would sneak into the school and just like do the fun shit with my friends and be like, oh, I'm a senior. Not at all. And I started just working as much as I possibly could so I could at least have money to put myself in a better situation. Because that's how it was for me from an early age. It was like, you have to get yourself out of this or you're going to be
survival.
Yeah.
Didn't they ever send like social services around to your house or anything like that?
No.
Never. Nobody ever checked on you.
At one point it's truancy when you don't show up, and I think they sent a truancy officer like one fucking time, and then they just like rang the doorbell, no one answered, and they left. Like again, it's Vegas.
That's actually like
Is it kind of like a Vegas thing? Like
I don't know.
I think,
but I'm assuming that's not happening in like the Hamptons. I'm assuming that's not happening in like
I think they're probably underfunded. There's a lot of kids who are probably
100%
not the best upbringing.
Absolutely,
they just don't have the resources.
And that's the thing too. Like I feel like high school and all that type of stuff in a lot of other towns are very community based in the regard that like all the parents are friends and check on each other and all live in similar neighborhoods and do you know what I mean? Like Vegas just isn't fucking, it's not like that at all, I guess.
So you dropped out of school, you immediately just went, because can you even work underage? Like, was it hard to find a job at 16?
15. 14 you can do shit that's like, you know what I mean? Like you could go mow someone like lawns, or you could go work for a company that's not like tax.
Right, like
happy.
They pay you cash or something.
Yeah, exactly. And then 15 is I think when it's legal, or at least it was then. And I just immediately.
So you went and people hired you.
Oh
15.
my, absolutely. I was preparing for it. Like at 14, like I was like on my 15th birthday. I think literally maybe a day after my 15th birthday, I was like.
Was that transition from being a student to like a full-time worker at 15? What was that? What did it feel? Was it relief? Was it good? Was
I loved
it hard?
it. Yeah, I loved it because I guess for me, and it's sad, but school felt like something I was doing for no reason.
Yeah.
Because it was like, even if I graduated with I'm not being sent to college. I'm not a straight A student who's getting sent anywhere. And maybe I could have been if I applied myself, but I didn't feel that way. Like I had no motivation. I was so depressed. And that was a very instant gratification. I'm getting paid. I'm making money. I'm changing my life. And you know what I mean? I liked my coworkers. I liked working. I liked applying myself to shit. I also always worked in retail, and I love clothes, and I love people. I'm a people person as well. So I enjoyed like making my tips and doing shit like that off of human interaction. I loved it. Yeah.
And so when you turned 18, you moved to California, right?
I like don't remember my life. That's another thing that's kind of dark with the trauma, is everything is like such a. It's like people always call me out for fact checking, so I'll be like, I did this when I was this age, and it's like not even at all.
Well, the age is less important. You moved out to California. Like, what was your plan when you arrived? Did you have a place to stay? Were you staying with friends?
So do you remember O2L?
No.
Like Ricky Dillon and like, do you remember all those like JC Kalen and Kian and whatever, O2L?
Oh, let me look.
Trevi Moran, was my first like LA best friend, and like had been doing it far longer than me and making money, and I would always stay with her.
Our Second Life?
Yeah.
These guys?
Yeah. So Trevi has transitioned now.
Whoa.
But this is before.
This is 8 years ago.
Yeah.
So you were homies with these guys?
Yeah.
Interesting.
And well, not all of them kind of, but Trevi specifically.
Which one's Trevi?
Bottom left.
This person.
And
wait,
I would always stay with Trevi, and Trevi like really took me in and kind of showed me the LA ropes, and then eventually there were other like FaZe Banks was really like my good friend, and I would like be there a lot and stuff. That was like FaZe Banks was like my second LA
Blanks.
We call him FaZe Blanks, but it's affectionately.
Affectionately. Yeah. I love him. He's my longest Banks and Trevi are my longest LA friends.
That's so
they
nice.
kind of brought me into this world, and I would stay there, and all that type of stuff.
Was it hard to transition, or was it kind of like you were making money by the time you came
if anything,
here?
I took way longer too than I should. I stayed in Vegas a lot longer because I was like scared. I'm like, is this a lifelong thing? What if I move to LA and it doesn't work and whatever? So I was back and forth a lot. At one point, I was renting a house in Vegas and a townhome in LA with my best friend. And yeah. So no, I made it pretty gradual, which I think was good for me. So I didn't let LA change me too hard off rip, you know?